Phone is on silent. Laptop is open, and we are ready to start the YouTube video. What is going on, everyone? What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we're gonna talk about how to film like a pro with your phone. Now, I wanna preface, I film with an iPhone 11 Max, and I don't have any contacts with Android or Samsung or any other phone that you might have, and let me know in the comments what kind of phone that you have. So today we're gonna predominantly talk about iPhone, and I wanted to make that clear from the front. So, with that being said, let's get into the video. Roll intro.
Your devotion. Are you with me now? Said, are you with me now? They fucking they want us to simmer down. Can you hear me now?
Alright, so tip number one when we're filming with our iPhone is we want to go down to our settings and check what our settings are at. So, I have my phone right in front of me. I'm going to play some B-roll over it, and I want to walk you through it. Let's look at record video. So when we go to record video settings, I keep my video settings at 4K, 60 frames per second. The reason being is because I like that high quality image and I like the higher frame rate. You do not have to at all. Keep in mind, the higher the quality you go, the more space it's gonna take up on your phone. So let's say you film at 1080p HD at 60 frames per second, that's gonna take up less space as opposed to 4K, 60 frames per second, right? Because it's a higher resolution, higher quality, it's gonna take up more space on your phone. So keep that in mind. What I would recommend for anyone who's beginning to start filming on their iPhone is always film at 1080p. There is an option for 720, so it's gonna be a lot lower of a file. However, if we wanna get that much better quality, go for 1080. And I would recommend 1080p at 60 frames per second. Now, if you wanna go up to 4K, that's totally up to you. Just keep in mind the storage space. Now, my iPhone has, I believe, 256 gigabytes of free space, so I'm okay with the 4K at 60 frames per second. And also, I'm okay because I have a way to back up my files on other devices and not have to store them solely on there. So that's tip number one, is focus on your video quality and what we're recording video with. The other thing with camera settings is grid. So if you look at the grid option, with what it does on the screen, I'm gonna show you, it literally turns this grid on where it has, it looks like a, kind of looks like a tic-tac-toe square, right? The reason I love this is very important. The reason I love this is because it helps you with your framing. Especially if you're filming with the back of your camera right here on your phone, it's gonna help you a ton with setting up your shot. You can get it right in the middle where you want it, and there's no guesswork because it shows you exactly what's gonna be in the frame and where you need to be positioned, where you need to position your camera, and so on and so forth. Now the next tip, this is gonna be super quick, a very quick tip. Number two is clean your lens. I cannot tell you how many times people have smudges on their lens from fingerprints. Think about it. When you have your phone in your pocket, right, and you just slide it out, that's a fingerprint that gets on your lens. It's gonna make it dirty. A simple fix, if you have a microfiber cloth for your glasses, or if you don't have that on you, totally okay. What you can do, use your shirt. Literally, just wipe it down like this. And if you're wondering, well, how can I tell the difference? Pretend you're gonna record a video or take a photo, and then from there, wipe it down and see if there's a difference. I guarantee you there will be. Tip number three is use your back camera. A lot of people, when they vlog or when they film themselves, they like to do it like this, with the camera in front. That is totally okay. I am not hating on that. I love that. If you can film like that and you want to see yourself and be able to look at the camera, that's totally cool. That is 100% okay. The issue that I have, and this is just from a creative perspective, is that the quality goes down. So the quality on your front-facing camera isn't as good as what you can get from the back-facing camera. So that's why I always advocate for focusing on filming on the back of your camera, which is why, again, using that grid, right? Because then you can set up your shot, you know where you need to be, there's no guesswork. And also, once you get comfortable with filming like this, you're gonna learn, okay, maybe this is where I need to look at. There's two cameras on here, so you can kind of figure out, okay, I need to position it like this, I need to be looking here, this is where I need to be. It takes time. Always use your back camera is what I always say, or at least try to work up to it, because I think a lot of times too, when we're filming like this, we can get distracted and kind of look at ourselves on screen and not so much into the camera. This way it forces you to look in the camera and you can make better eye contact. And personally for me, the message just hits harder when you film with the back of your camera. So, tip number three, use your back camera. Tip number 4, we're almost done, is to adjust your exposure while shooting. Now I'm gonna show you on screen here how you can do that, and that's simple. When you are recording video, there's gonna be a little yellow box that's gonna appear with the sunlight next to it. A lot of people don't know this, so pay attention. When you're filming, that little yellow box is to help with focusing. So when you hit that yellow box, it's gonna focus on whatever that image is, wherever you're focusing that box on. The cool thing is, when you tap on that box, you wanna tap on that little sun. And what that sun does is when you bring the slider up and down, is that it adjusts the exposure within your shot. Not a lot of people know this. So you can move the slider up to get a more exposed shot, or you can move the slider down to get a less exposed shot. Now, the best way you can use that is especially if you're out in sunlight. And a lot of the times what you wanna do is maybe you wanna bring it down a little bit, or maybe you wanna bring it up a little bit if it's like a darker condition, darker environment, there's not a lot of light. That is a huge tip that a lot of people forget, is because you have that option to bring the exposure up or bring it down. So utilize that a lot, as much as you can. I guarantee it'll help. Tip number 5, the last tip of the day, is to add some motion with your camera. This is one that I love and I preach, because what I like to do when I add motion within a shot, a big filming tip, this is a little filming tip, keep your phone close to your chest. Right? Because if we have it out here, we're not as stable and it's not gonna be as smooth of a shot. Keep it closer to your chest as much as you can. Keep it closer to your center of gravity. You're gonna get a lot smoother shot. What I mean by movement, pan up and down. Focus on bringing the camera in, bringing it out. Bring it into a shot, bring it out of a shot. A lot of this you can do in post-production. It just makes that much better when you can actually get that movement developed as a filmer and with your phone. If you're filming horizontally, which again, filming horizontally is great for YouTube videos and anything that's gonna be for that dimension. Now, when you're moving, again, you can pan to the left, you can pan to the right, you can pan up, you can pan down, you can move forward, you can move back with it. There's so many movements that you can do, and it just helps you realize, okay, cool, maybe I wanna get a lower shot, and maybe I wanna kind of pan, add a little bit more drama to it, or add a little bit more depth, or range of motion with the shot. There's so much you can do. Do not limit your creativity by just propping it on a tripod and not moving it. That's okay. Just like how this video is being filmed on a camera right now, it's propped on a tripod, focused on me. That's 100% okay. If you're filming something that you want to require movement, you want to capture the viewer's eye, you want to get some more motion in it, you want to get, ooh, like, I want to see how this looks, or I want to portray this type of message because I want to add this movement in it, and it's going to help accentuate that, 100% do that. I promise you, it'll help a ton. And it's good practice, because not a lot of times we have a gimbal or a stabilizer to help us, so we gotta be handheld, especially even with my Sony. I like getting handheld with it. I like moving around with it because it forces me to be mobile, be active, and be more creative with it. So with that said, those are 5 tips to help you film like a pro on your phone. If you enjoyed, it would mean the world if you guys liked the video. Subscribe if you don't already. Comment down below. I want to know, what kind of phone do you use? Do you use iPhone, Android, Samsung? I don't know what other kind of phones there are. Maybe there's something I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what kind of phone you use. And if you enjoyed this content, again, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.